Hey guys. So I was interested this year in looking a little bit more into security. That's something that's important to our organization. And I'd heard about OWASP, which is the Open Web Application Security Project. They provide resources for programmers to learn more about security. And one of their projects is called WebGoat. So they've designed a purposefully unsecured Java application and a series of labs that take you through different security exercises. We heard about denial of service yesterday. That's one of the labs. Also, web access controls, different injection attacks, that kind of stuff. So we, as a group of about a dozen people, installed WebGoat on a Vagrant machine. So that was one of the takeaways a lot of people had, is actually getting to work with Vagrant for a little bit. Once we got it installed, we went through a couple of the exercises. A few of us went through a couple of the exercises. The first one being the access controls. We're finding that a lot of frameworks that you'd work with today on Ruby on Rails would handle this for you, but it's still a good idea to get the background. So we looked at WebGoat, and I enjoyed it, and it was good to meet some new people.
The second group, is anyone volunteering? Thank you.
Hello. My name is Brad Dewar. I work with Novanet. Novanet's a consortium of academic libraries in Nova Scotia. The group I was with at Hackfest, we decided to look at something that's common to many libraries, a room booking system. And the state of the UI of the room booking systems, which is universally terrible. We had many different examples of terrible UIs. We have one that's integrated into our ILS. It's bad. Some people just use pen and paper. You know, you walk up to the desk and book a room. If that works for you, it's probably the best one. Only works if you have a very small number of rooms. And there are many, if you just type open source room booking into Google, you'll find dozens and dozens of bad room booking UIs. So we just brainstormed quite a bit on what it really should look like. And you might remember from the University of Alberta group, they talked about using user stories to inform their design. And we didn't use that term, but that's what we did. So we talked about what people would expect when they came to the room booking UI. And there's two main use cases, I think, where you come to the page, you want a room at a time, you want it immediately, so you put in a time and we show you what rooms are available at that time. And then another one is, you know, students who've been around for a while, they love room 404, that's their room. So they come to your page and they type in room 404 and they get the next available time. So we tried to build a UI that would handle both of those cases. So then we actually got down to the hacking part of Hackfest, and it turned out to be near the end of the day by the time we started that. So we didn't get very far. If someone put a web browser on that screen, I could show you what we did build, but it's not, there's not really much to look at. I think I will keep working on it though, so if anybody does want to check it out or follow along, I can give you the URLs.
Okay, excellent. Would anyone who cares to come up for Bill Denton's folks come up? Oh, perhaps even Bill Denton.
Hello, everyone. There are 5 people who I have picked. Can you all come up, please, and get ready? Sam and Thomas and Laura and Brandon and Whitney. So I'm Bill Denton. I work at York University, which is up at the north end of Toronto. And I'd like to thank all the Access organizers because they let us, Katie Legere from Queen's University and me, do a special kind of a hack fest where there was a lot of hacking going on, but with a focus which was on sonification, which is turning data into music and sound. So we were doing this with Sonic Pi, which is a nice program. It's a programmable synthesizer, and it's easy to use, a nice way to learn how to program, and you can make really good music with it. So there were a couple of dozen people. People learned about Sonic Pi. Katie talked about sonification, gave some examples, and then people had some data they wanted to work with, and they spent the rest of the day hacking on things. At 10 o'clock, only about 2 or 3 people in the room had programmed, I think, but by 4:30, everyone in there had programmed, and more importantly, everyone had made some art, and there were 15 people gave a performance of the music that they'd made. 5 of the people uploaded their stuff to SoundCloud, and so they're all going to come up. Have you got it all queued up back there? Okay, they're going to come up. I think Thomas is first. If you can get that page or up on the screen, that would be great. They're going to come up, introduce themselves, say a little bit about the data they had and what they did, and then we're going to get to hear the music that they made.
Okay, hi again. My name is Thomas. I work for the Ontario Colleges Library Service, and we are building with the Ontario Colleges a common ebook collection. And on our long list of tasks is making sense of the user stats for those collections. So that was my data that I wanted to play with on Tuesday, was to look at the access stats for an EBSCO ebook collection. It's very fancy. So I wanted to see how the usage of those ebooks would evolve over time. So I tried to find those. They have daily stats where you can see for each hour of the day how many searches there were, how many downloads, how many requests, or whatever. So I looked at those and tried to plot them over time. So it's a 10-day stretch. And then I tried to map each and every type of interaction, like searches, downloads, rejects, PDF downloads, to a different instrument, and then have them play over time. And that's what came out of it. So faster sounds are, there's more interaction. The lower ones, like it's a lull in the user stats. It gets boring very quick.
Hi, I'm Laura Rubel at George Washington University in DC. I started with a file that was a count of items checked out at the library each day over a course of a year from July to June. So I kind of chunked up the counts and assigned them to pitches across 2.5 octaves. The higher the pitch indicates more checkouts. I also thought there might be a pattern in the course of the week. So you'll hear it sounds like it's in 7. So there's sort of a downbeat on Sunday of each week. And then I added a little bit of extra emphasis during the course of the semester as well, so you can hear the semesters. I think spring semester sounds more interesting than fall semester, but I'll let you be the judge of that. It's about a minute altogether. So now we're in fall semester. This is winter break. Spring semester. Thanks.
I'm Brandon Weigel. I work at the BC Electronic Library Network, and one of my jobs is coordinating Askaway, which is the provincial collaborative post-secondary virtual reference system. We publish monthly stats on the service's usage, which I work with a lot, including detailed info on the individual chat sessions. We have 30 participating libraries, so the stats can be rather complex. So I tried sonifying a month's worth of that data using timestamp, the patron's home institution, and the session length. It didn't make the stats easier to understand, but it sounded kind of cool. I assigned each institution to one of 5 tiers based on the institution's size, and then assigned each tier a note. The notes are played in the sequence based on the timestamp for the when the questions were posted, and the length of a note is based on how long the chat session was. The music is random, so it's not going to be as pretty as the other ones we heard. But. And it goes on for 7 minutes, so we probably don't want to listen to the whole thing.
Hi, I'm Whitney Watkins from St. Lawrence University in New York. This is a fantastic example of an account I don't use very often, as the photo shows, so I'm mildly embarrassed that that's up there, but I didn't look at library statistics because I look at those all day long, and so instead I chose some sports statistics with 3 variables based on conference and region that they're in, the name of their team alphabetically, and then it was a set of players, and based on the percentage of time that they played over a season, I just assigned, if it was one of 2 conferences, just different sounds to that samples, and then notes based on if they were the team that they played for started with a letter in the first half of the alphabet or a letter in the second half of the alphabet, and then the playing time was a chord based on if it was within a certain range, and I set about 4 different ranges on that. So yeah, and set the background. You should notice it. It's Blues Monday. Somebody had already put that together, so I kind of played around with that and then added it too. So I don't know how long it is, but you can stop it whenever you feel necessary. My main focus was not to understand the data, but to make it sound cool, so yeah.
I'm Sam Popowich from the University of Alberta. I took data from the City of Edmonton's open data portal. They had a collection of information that they'd taken from mosquito trapping over the course of the year, which is a big deal in Edmonton. And it tracked information like gender and genus and species, gender, whether that particular mosquito had been tagged before or not. I don't know who gets that job. And what I did was mapped the genus of mosquito to chords in the key of G, so that when it ran through the data, it generated a sort of pseudo-random chord progression, which is suitable for playing modal tunes over, so I thought I would give that a try.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all the performers and to everyone who came, and to Katie Legere and to Access for letting us do this here. Thank you.
All right, because everyone's been perfectly on time, actually ahead of time, it is now break time, and we'll see you back at 11 a.m. Don't forget, you can sign up for a lunchtime tour at the reference desk. No, you won't be doing it there. You'll be doing it at the registration desk, in fact. Take care, guys.